Oh no, Tatis got hit, and Mike Schilt is furious coming out of the dugout. And now Mike Schilt is barking at Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts out of the dugout. The managers are going to come face to face. Standing in between them is the Cruchy Marvin Hudson. And Duck just bumped Mike Schilt. The dugout's clear.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Will Leach. Today is Friday, August 15th, and you have made it halfway through the month of August. Way to go! Anyway, this is the podcast where we tell you everything you need to know about baseball, and we do it in under 10 minutes. I don't know why I'm using the royal we here. It's just me. I'm the only one here. It is so lonely and so cold.
Tatis, the last hope for the Padres. Ground ball to third, picked by Hernandez. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. And with his shutout in Game 5, the solo home runs from Kike Hernandez and Teoscar Hernandez, plenty for the Dodgers to get the revenge over the Padres.
There's a great bit in the classic television show Mad Men when the plucky upstart associate that Sterling Draper Cooper Price tries to insult Don Draper by saying, "I feel bad for you." Draper, as cool as John Hamm could sell it, simply says, "I don't think about you at all." That for years is how the Dodgers have treated the Padres. Pods have been desperately nipping at the Dodgers' heels, always trying to take down their Southern California rival, while the Dodgers, busy winning all those championships and honestly considering the Giants their real rivals anyway, have simply turned down their noses at them. "We don't think about you at all." Well, it's fair to say the Padres have the Dodgers' attention now. The Padres were the most aggressive team at the deadline with the explicit goal of taking down the Dodgers, the team that has won 11 of the last 12 NL West titles and was up 9 games in the division on July 3rd. And on Wednesday night, the Padres finally caught up with the Dodgers, taking over first place in the division. It's the latest the Padres have been in first place by themselves since 2010. And no sooner did they grab that one-game lead that they have to travel to Dodger Stadium for a 3-game series this weekend. It's a massive series coming at the best possible time between two teams that, don't forget, just had a bench-clearing Donnybrook in June. This series is going to be nuts! Game 1 on Friday night, which you can actually watch at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on MLB Network, will feature Clayton Kershaw on the mound, which is cool in its own right. Kershaw was supposed to face Michael King, but the Padres ace, after making just one start since returning from the injured list, is back on the IL with left knee inflammation. So that complicates matters. Either way, the series is the story of the weekend, and that's true even if there isn't a fight this time. And don't forget, that's just the start of it. The two teams play each other again next weekend, this time in San Diego. They better make all of these count. It is amazingly the last time these teams will play all year. Well, until October?
Got him! Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball as he strikes out Swanson. And 5 outstanding innings so far for Max Scherzer.
Clayton Kershaw isn't the only future Hall of Famer in the middle of a pennant chase. On Thursday afternoon, Max Scherzer, the 41-year-old 3-time Cy Young winner, took the hill for a Blue Jays team that's in first place and feeling for all the world like this may be their year. They sure could use another ace in their rotation, and against the Cubs, one of the best offenses in baseball, Scherzer sure looked like one again. Scherzer had one of his best starts in recent years on Thursday, cruising through 7 innings of 1-run ball, giving up just 5 hits in the Blue Jays' 2-1 victory.
I'd say around the 3rd inning, 4th inning, that's when I really started getting it locked in and catching the rhythm and the flow of the game, and I really felt like from then on I really did a good job of executing and locating. Especially the fastball, locating the fastball up in the zone when I wanted to and down in the zone when I wanted to. It was a good outing. Obviously, we got great offense when we needed it, and our pen did even better.
It was Scherzer's 200th and 19th career victory, and if he keeps pitching like that, we might see him pitch in Game 1 of the ALDS. Quick side note from this game, by the way. Cubs top prospect and number 45 overall prospect, Owen Casey, a Canadian no less, made his MLB debut in front of his countrymen. He went 0 for 4, unfortunately, but he should have had his first hit in the 2nd inning until Jays left fielder Davis Schneider did this.
First one from Scherzer. Swing and a ball drilled out towards left center. Schneider got it! Oh, he made the catch.
Sorry, kid. Better luck next time, eh? After the break, Mets fans, you might want to skip ahead a section.
And that's roped to right field, headed back toward the fence, and it's off the wall. Racing for third is Harris. He's going to try to score. The throw goes to second. The Mets might have had a chance at Harris, but the Braves take the lead on a double by Albies, who drives in his third run of the night, and it's 4-3 Atlanta.
When it comes to late season collapses, the Mets have had some real doozies over the last couple of decades, and we may be witnessing the authorship of another epic one. On Wednesday night, the Mets had a 6-0 lead on the Braves in the second inning and gave up 11 consecutive runs. Thursday night's blown lead was not quite that bad, but it probably felt even worse. The Mets scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, take a 3-2 lead on the Bravos, and brought in deadline acquisition Ryan Helsley to lock it down in the 8th. He did not lock it down in the 8th. The red-hot Michael Harris II hit an RBI double to tie, and Ozzie Albies scored him with an RBI double of his own as the Braves ended up holding on to a 4-3 victory at Citi Field. The Mets are losing games in a way that seems specifically designed to make their fans' heads burst into flames. They've now lost 13 of their last 15 games, and 8 of those losses have featured blown leads. Forget chasing down the Phillies. The Mets' wildcard lead is now down to a measly half game over the Reds. We told you about one tight division race already, but you may remember that Tuesday was the night when both the NL West and the AL West ended the evening in a tie. Padres tied the Dodgers that night and, as mentioned, have now passed them. The Mariners, who did the same thing with the Astros, have not been so lucky. The next day, the Orioles ended the Mariners' 8-game win streak with a walk-off, and on Thursday, they beat them again. The O's had only 4 hits on the day Thursday, but that was thanks to 5 1/3 terrific innings from Tomoyoki Sugano and a bend-but-don't-break bullpen, still enough to beat the Mariners 5-3. The M's fell a game and a half behind the idle Astros. Mariners need to hope they got the Orioles going. The O's have 7 games against the Astros in the next 10 days. All right, let's see. All that leaves us with, let me count, 1496, carry the 1. 4 games left for us to get to. Let's hit them up with a whip around. So, you know how Tarek Skubal had just had his worst start of the year against the Angels? The first time all year he had not made it through 5 innings, and we all assumed it was just a weird blip. Well, he was a little better at his next start on Thursday, but he was still kind of human. Skubal gave up 3 runs in the 3rd inning against the Twins, including a home run to Edward Julien, the first lefty to homer off Skubal all season, before Skubal settled down and went 7 innings in a 4-3 11-inning win in Minnesota. It should be noted that he only struck out 3 batters. Skubal actually has a 5.4 ERA in August. That's weird. Jose Ramirez went 3 for 4 with 2 stolen bases as the Guardians trounced the Marlins 9-4. Again, the only good news for Mets fans on Thursday is that Yankees fans are now unhappy too. The Guardians' win creeps them within half a game of the Yanks in the race for the final AL wildcard spot. Paul DeYoung homered, and the Phillies left 8 runners on base as the Nationals beat the NL East leaders 3-2. The Phillies have now lost 3 in a row for the first time since June. I'll have you know, it would have been very easy for me to just say, for the rest of tonight's scores, just go to MLB.com and get myself an extra couple hours of sleep, rather than wait until the end of the otherwise mostly meaningless Diamondbacks 8-2 win over the Rockies. Now, had I done that, you might not know that Eduardo Rodriguez had his best start of the year by giving up just 1 run over 7 innings. But you know what? I owe you more than that. I owe you more than simply taking the easy road. It is a profound, hallowed, downright sacred bond that a podcaster and their devoted listeners share. It is one that I will honor. It is one that I must honor. So yeah, Arizona won. That's all for today.
And that's all for today's Morning Lineup Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to give us a rating and review and tell everyone you know about this podcast.
All right, well, I guess that's the easiest way to do it right there. I guess I'm nothing if not predictable. I, Will Leach, will be back with you on Monday morning. Have a wonderful time. I'm going to lock this kid out now.